What's up, everyone? It's Big Sarge, aka Admin Tim from the Sons of Liberty. So after an intensive vetting process, your Vice President, Kamala Harris, announced her running mate. She chose Tim Walz, who's currently the governor of Minnesota. Now, if you're a liberal or a progressive, I can hear your eyeballs rolling around in your head and the groaning. Oh no, not another old white guy. Motherfucker, I'm white and old, and my comments are filled with people who are like, hey, you should run for office, just because I said some shit in a video that they liked and agreed with. So it's not enough for you to have a black Indian woman who turned 60 this year, making her exactly 6 months and 2 weeks younger than Walz? Please, clutch your pearls a little harder until your knuckles are as white as Walz's skin. Let me tell you something about Tim Walz. Not only does he have a fucking cool first name, and his last name is a dance, but he's also a retired U.S. Army veteran and a former battalion command sergeant major. Now, I don't know how many of you out there are civilians. I don't know how many of you were never in the Marines or the Army, but let me tell you something about a sergeant major. Step on his grass and see how fast he pushes your shit in. And this dude was artillery, which, as a former grunt, I hate to admit is called the king of battle. What's more fucking cool than that as your nickname, right? As a ranking member of the House Veterans Affairs Committee, veterans had no finer and more tenacious advocate than Tim Walz. Every single veteran service organization and every veteran leader knows that he's one of our own, and we could always count on him. As a combat veteran, I'm not saying that you should support or worship this dude as a veteran. Every one of us who has served under a lazy idiot or maybe a whole pack of idiots. We all know bad leaders, but according to the men and women who served under Walz, he was a great leader, and that's an important distinction that's lost on a lot of civilians. Look past the uniform. So the reason that I'm bringing up his service is because it's going to be real interesting to see what the Republican response is, since Republicans like to claim that they're the party of patriotism and supporting the troops. Which is ironic, considering who their frontman is, the draft-dodging pussy who made fun of POWs and slandered our fallen warriors as being suckers and losers. And for those of you motherfuckers in my comments who are going to be like, show me the proof that Trump said that, I'll take the word of the numerous generals on his staff who heard it before I take his word or yours, so why don't you get the fuck out? Anyway, you're irrelevant, so let's get back to Walz. Walz is also a retired educator and a football coach, and having dealt with a lot of high school and middle school kids, plus as the parent of teenagers, as well as having been an unruly kid in school myself, I can say this about educators. I respect the hell out of anyone who has to deal with other people's kids. Some folks out there raise some real little bastards, and I don't give a fuck if that upsets you. Discipline your fucking kids. Oh, did I mention that Tim Walz, like me, speaks Chinese Mandarin? 我不知道他在哪里学的中文，可是我在国防语言学院学习了中文。Walz has a verifiable history of championing progressive causes, not just in his role as an elected official. In the late 90s, Walz was also the faculty advisor of the first gay-straight alliance at the school where he taught. He embraced a policy to allow convicted felons to vote, which ironically the right wing is totally against, which, I mean, their fucking candidate is a convicted felon. Tim Walz voted against measures to bail out big business in the Great Recession of 2008. He voted against anti-abortion legislation and received a 100% rating from Planned Parenthood. Oh, he also is loved by the ACLU, the American Immigration Lawyers Association, the AFL-CIO, the Brotherhood of Teamsters, and was widely respected as a bipartisan congressman. He also has governing experience, which a lot of people in politics have said make for a good president. Now, Harris apparently knew what she was doing when she picked this guy, and I respect the hell out of that level of vetting because look who Dong Mold Tramp chose as his running mate. And the day after George Floyd was murdered, as Minnesota governor, Tim Walz publicly demanded a full accounting and vowed to see Floyd's murderer would face justice. Walz personally championed police training reform as well as other police reform measures. As a governor with a one-seat majority, he also presided over the state requiring 12 weeks paid family leave, banning non-compete agreements and conversion therapy, cannabis legalization, increased spending on infrastructure and environmental issues, tax rebates for the working class, codifying abortion rights and protecting in vitro fertilization, universal free school meals and universal gun background checks, free public college under 80 grand, and a $2.2 billion increase in K-12 school funding. So you're goddamn right that I'm excited about this old white dude, because imagine what this team can do if we also get a Democrat-run House and Senate as well. So whilst you're over there rolling your eyes at this old white dude, despite the fact that you probably had a hard-on from my boy Bernie Sanders, who, by the way, would have picked Walz as his running mate, maybe chickadee check yourself before you wreck yourself. Walz's record as a progressive politician is fucking on point, but he also has a proven record of getting Republicans to support him, which is what we severely need right now. So it boggles my fucking mind that people who claim to be open-minded saw an old white dude and were like, nah, Yeah, motherfucker, I said it. Hashtag not sorry, not sorry. Anyway, look on the bright side. It could be worse. Walz could be a couch fucker who hates people of color and won't defend his own wife and mixed-race kids because he's bought and sold by oligarchs and won't stand up to bigots. And his potential boss could be a convicted felon who's also a sexual predator, loves sucking Putin's cock, hung out a lot with Jeffrey Epstein, cheats on all of his wives, and wants to fuck his own daughter. Admin Tim 316 says, get fucked and die mad about it. 2 claps and a Rick. Woo! Oh, P.S. The right wing is testing out its messaging on this guy and calling him Tampon Tim because he made free maxi pads and tampons available in the girls' bathroom. Oh, dear Lord, pass me the smelling salts, Ethel May. Please escort me to my fainting couch. I feel a spell of the vapors coming on. What a villain. Look, right-wing ass clowns, only a weirdo would want someone to bleed through their clothes for lack of sanitary options. The Reich can't meme, and it also damn sure sucks at attacking people. Y'all may as well invent some fake scandal like you always do. Maybe go ask your couch fucker and convicted felon. Bitch. This one's going to be a little dicey today because we got a hurricane coming through. The Reich wing, as in the Third Reich. See what I did there? Ha. So they're already trotting out old shit with regards to Tim. Fuck. Excuse me.